So let's talk a tiny bit about how I got here. Um, in July, actually, it was July. It was the first week of July that I lost my job at the farm. And I had been unemployed since October 2019. And so getting like that COVID self-isolation thing wasn't kind of new to me. I was basically doing it all the time anyways because I was looking for jobs. I got the job at the farm for May until July, and it was closed because of COVID restrictions and they weren't getting enough funding to pay a employee. So I lost my job because of COVID, but I had spent all of that time from October until July basically looking for jobs all the time, every day, on the internet. There wasn't anything I did other than look for jobs, and I did some D&D because that's something I do. And I decided that it was causing me a lot of stress to be where I was. And I contacted two people. One, my sister, down in Kingston, Ontario, and then the other, Caroline, who lives here in St. John's, and that's where I'm staying right now at Caroline's house. Caroline had already looked into jobs around this area, and she guaranteed to me that I would find something, and yes, I have found something. We forgot to look into rentals a tiny bit, but it's still a hope that I'll find something. So in July, I applied to come and move to the island here. I had to do a COVID test, and I had to declare that I would take a 14-day self-isolation when I got here. The benefit of Caroline working where she does work, she works on the ferry, was that she wasn't here for 2 weeks, and so I could arrive. I did the 14-day isolation, and then I was free. And that's how I got here to Newfoundland. I know that in September they were allowing people in. I know a few people have asked me, like, are they accepting people to move? And I'm like, oh, I don't know now, but in September they were. So that's how I got here. I flew with my dog. It was probably one of the most stressful things I've done, but I would do it again now that I know how it works. And like I trust the people who flew with him. He's fine. He was happy. Whatever. And so I have a tiny bit of a slideshow of just images, and I'll talk over top of them. So yeah, that's some information about how I got here. So as I said, I had to have an exemption travel order, and I made that order in July. And so I had to wait until I got that email so that I could book my flight so that I could leave Ontario to go to Newfoundland. When I arrived in Timmins, I actually arrived the night before. This is the Timmins airport the night before. But I was informed that they don't take people through the night anymore, so I couldn't stay there. So I had to go back to a motel for a night and then come back in the morning. But I think this is a perfect picture of me and my stress getting into the airport with a dog. You can't see him, but he's there. So I flew from Timmins at 4 o'clock in the morning over to Toronto, arriving there at 5. And then I had a layover in Toronto for an hour before I went Toronto to St. John's. I didn't take very many photos of my flight, and the ones that I did take, I've sent in text messages and I've mostly deleted. But this is one of Timmins when I'm flying out. I slept for most of the flight from Timmins to Toronto. It was I can sleep anywhere, but it was a pretty comfortable flight, other than I find that Air Canada doesn't make seatbelts for plus size women, and so neither of my flights I couldn't put my seatbelt on, and I felt like the worst. I felt the worst overall. But yeah, that's the only thing I found. Someone got really excited that I was going to get screeched in one day. So yeah, I got to my terminal in Toronto very early. No coffee shop was open, but there was a bar open that was offering coffee and bacon. So I definitely stayed over there. And that was basically it for my morning before I got on the plane. By the time I realized that this was on my flight, I was already flying over St. John's, but I got to see it, and I got to see that map, and so now you know when I realized that I had this. Jasper really wasn't impressed about staying in all the time. We did go for walks, and I perfected my flint napping, but overall, we painted, and I looked for groceries to order. Fun fact, these are Newfoundland's favorites. So anything else about my trip is probably going to be reviewed. I mean, it's not really a trip. I've moved here. This is the plan. I have moved here, and I'm planning to stay here. So anything else will be reviewed in the next videos upcoming and the vlogs. And I'm planning on doing more than just vlogs. I'm planning on doing tutorials and things to do in St. John's. St. John's, Newfoundland is lacking in YouTubers who do that kind of thing. There's one or two who have been like, this is all the things that you can do in St. John's, and then they leave St. John's, which is kind of sad. So hopefully I can stay here and I can promote it. A big problem with the island is a lot of people are leaving the island because they can't get work. It's kind of funny to say that I came here for work, but I did. That's where I was. And later on I'll just review things I did before, just a small video about the farm that I was working on, mostly because I think it's really cool imagery. Alright, well, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!